What is good, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back, and it is time for the match preview for Leeds United versus Watford ahead of the game tomorrow, where Leeds United will look to build on the momentum after an excellent win versus Sheffield United. Before I get into it, though, people, like the video, subscribe, and of course, drop your comments and score predictions below. Going to roll this one up. There wasn't too much in the press conference today, and with the quick turnaround, the game's tomorrow night. I've already got the match reaction set up, so if you want to join me live after the game tomorrow, do so, and we can talk through the result together. Listen, for my horror fans, because I know I got a few horror fans on here, went to see Smile 2 today. Worth the watch. Excellent movie. Good follow-up to the first movie. You'll love it. I believe so anyway. Listen, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Niger is saying, big up KG, low blocking coming tomorrow versus Watford. Let's hope Tanwell are on it again. Oh no, we ain't doing that, are we? We haven't shipped them together, have we? Now it's not Tanaka Rothwell, Tanwell. Nah, I ain't running with that, you know. I'm not running with that. But listen, Ash in the house, great to see you, KG. Missed the last few lives, no problem, man. I hope just as long as you watch the replay, of course. But look, oh, thank you to Mr. P, and somebody who would like to be known as Mr. Unknown for the super thanks in the last video. Much appreciated. And listen, big up to all my members of the channel as well. Membership link is in the description if you want to support me in that way as well. James here saying, when I heard Farke's comments on Bamford, I instantly thought of UKG. It's crazy how whenever Bamford gets mentioned, people think of me. I don't like that correlation, but I'm not as upset as probably James and maybe others think I am. And I'll get into that in just a bit. I shouldn't be smiling this much, but I'm going to say why. I'm going to say why. But look, there really wasn't a lot with the press conference. And thankfully, because I wasn't watching it live, I got to skip through it. And there were some dreadful questions today, absolutely dreadful. But listen, like I say, with every press conference, you're not going to get a hit every single time. But some of the questions, I mean, look, these are qualified journalists, and they come up with some of these questions. You think, I could get Barry from the pub after 10 pints to ask some of these questions, and they'd probably be better. But look, key things for here. I mean, listen, when Daniel Farke speaking about the opposition, I think at this point we're used to, even if they're bottom of the league with 0 wins, they could possibly be a promotion candidate. So we're used to hearing him say that. But you know what he did say in terms of Watford is they're a pretty physical side. That is true. They are definitely that. But with the guile and the class that we have, I do expect us to bypass it. I do expect us to do that. Matt, what's it? Deshaun say we never get a hit. No, so you know what? Some of the press conferences are actually decent, but when you think of this one, like a Watford one, and listen, if there wasn't the Bamford portion of it in this press conference, I'd have probably just done a quick 8-minute upload or something, because there really wasn't a lot to be said today. But I found the language used when he was talking about Bamford very interesting. That's it. But look, that's all he was saying on Watford, and you know they're going to be one of the contenders, etc. No, this was the other bit of news, but there's no big concerns. No one's picked up an injury, so we've got a fully fit squad from everyone that is expected. No setbacks with Dan James, no setbacks with Manuel Solomon. Everyone is going to be available who was there against Sheffield United. Obviously, no Max Verber, so none of those players that have been injured previously. He was a bit nervous about Nanto's shoulder. But they scanned it, and thankfully it's just a bruise. So there you go, just a little bruised shoulder. Willie will be fine and flying, I'm sure, tomorrow night for sure. Big, you know what? It's getting lost as well because there's so many good performances at this point in time. How good Willie Nanto has been, and I just want to just pick that up just again, just to amplify just how good it is, because it won't always show up on the score sheet, Willie's impact. The amount of players he's drawing with him and drawing fouls at the same time, the amount of people he takes out of a game, whether he's off the right or playing centrally, is crazy. He's doing so well being the man. You know, after the Somerville left, after Jorginho's gone, he's just said, as I said at the start of the season, if he's left, he's going to go, well, it's on me. And he loves it. He absolutely thrives on it. So big up to Willie Nanto and the role he's playing, because it's not all coming up on the score sheet at this point, but he's been excellent. In terms of that, what else was there? There really wasn't anything else. Before I speak on the Bamford thing, just want to speak about Luca Thomas as well, because it's crazy how he's been highlighted by the official site. He's somebody that I've said I want to keep an eye on while he's out on loan, because I do expect good things from Luca Thomas, and I feel with his striker instincts, he's going to have a real good future. Got to manage it right, and you know, don't put too much on the kid. But you know, he's already got a goal, and I think he came on a sub for York as well. and he got a goal. I think they won the game 3 or 4-0. But again, good instinctive finish, and it's only going to get better as he plays more competitive football. So long may that continue, Luca Thomas, man, because he looks like he's got a bright future ahead. And you can already hear like the big club scouting, like, young academy star at Leeds. Let me write that one down. Funnily enough, who was on the other day? I think it was Aaron Lennon. Remember Aaron Lennon? He used to be a youngster for us. He was talking about how good Harry Gray is going to be, and that he potentially, could surpass Archie. Which obviously, it's great to hear, but you don't want to hear it, especially when Aaron Lennon is talking on such a big platform. I think he was on Talksport. So yeah, just leave our gems alone. Leave our gems alone. All right. Let's have a look. Ryan here saying Nunto has proved me wrong. I thought you would want out, but he's become the main man. Ryan, you're not alone, and I appreciate that you can come out and say that, because and when I say you're not alone, there was most of you saying that, and I was simply saying that isn't the case. This isn't school. Oh, my best friends left. Mom, Dad, can you get me to another school? Can I join them? It doesn't work like that. He was never going to go to West Ham with Somerville, and Brighton weren't ever going to spend the money to get him, along with Jorginho. It doesn't work like that. But I said that he's going to enjoy being the main man, and that's what's happened so far, and I expect it to continue as well, along with his new contract. These ships have got it. You got to stop this, people. What's this one now? Rathanaka. Oi, this is crazy. Well, what I will say as well, obviously, as our two central midfielders have been playing, out of their skins, and I even go from the Sunderland game, and it just went up a level against Sheffield United, and long may that continue. But I find the conversation about Ethan Ampadu having a hard time getting back in very funny, because I'll switch it around another way, people. And I guess that people ask, oh yeah, no, let me not do that. But if you were going into the Premier League season with Rothwell or Ampadu, which one would you prefer? And I'd be very interested to get your answers on that one, because I know the answer for me. Rothwell is going to be a good player for at this level, and long may it continue as well, by the way. But when you watch, I was watching Premier League again, as I always do, watching the full Premier League games over the weekend. It's just night and day, man. Look, the gap between the Championship and the Premier League is ridiculous now. There's just so many levels to it, and it'd be very interesting what people are saying. But listen, if you're talking currently, then you don't break them two up. They've been absolutely brilliant, and even the free agent. And shall we go into that next before we speak about Bamford? No, 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 we won't. Even the free agent coming in will just be a backup to these two. Even though Farke, you can see visibly Farke just itching. He's like, oh, I would prefer a defensive midfielder there. You can't break up this chemistry what these two have got, because they're doing everything. They're doing the defending, and they're attacking as well. So yeah, don't change it unless there's a suspension coming, of course. Um, yeah, my captain all day long. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Matt, please, what's these ships going on? Hey, this is funny. This is fun. This is funny. I gotta say it though. But look, one thing that did come out from it. You know what? Let's just talk about the free agent. By the way, let's just get that one out the way, because we're speaking out of midfield. They'll be coming along by the end of the week. So they're obviously, what I do like with this, even though the ideal scenario would have been to do it in the last international break where you got 2 full weeks. The fact that they're doing their due diligence so well must mean that they will get the right one, whoever it is out the names. And Farke did make a joke of it today, saying if all these free agents were at the place at the same time, there'd be no room for training. Because whatever you think about footballers and managers, whether they read it themselves or people around them tell them, they know what's being said about them. And Danny Farke has made that clear since he's been here. He always knows when people are talking about certain things in the team or who should be playing, etc. Again, he talked about it today about not just changing things because people want me to. It has to work tactically. But he was saying in regards to the free agent, we should have someone by the end of the week. So all the speculation, people, will be over, and we can speak about who is going to fit into this squad and make up the numbers, which is what we need, because we do need somebody else in there, no matter how well it's going. And even if we do beat Watford tomorrow, which we will. Matt saying calling Bamford the legend was a stretch. I'm gonna speak about that. Matt. So let's just get into it, because that was the other main bit, and this is what Matt's referring to. Patrick Bamford is, because he was, again, as always with these press conferences, even though Peru and Joseph are banging form and everything else, the legacy reporters who probably still have Bamford on their phone, asking about him. So, Daniel Farke did speak about, and listen, Popey's just summed it up here, but I'm going to go into a bit more. But Patrick Bamford is crucial to us. He's already a Leeds United legend in my eyes, as he says. I'm sure he'll be in the spotlight for us in the coming months. Now, some people would say, what's Daniel Farke smoking here? Because look, I've said on here many times, a legend is personal to you. Okay, I will never tell you who's a legend for you or what, because as you can't tell me who's a legend for me, you just can't do that. What I would say though is, if Patrick Bamford is a legend to you, I don't know what kind of ball you enjoy. But look, this, when he said this, people, it was after like a near 8-10 minute chat about Bamford, and when he was asked about what's his role within the team. He then proceeds to talk about Bamford and the crucial goals he scored and how important he was to us during the time that we had that unbelievable run last season. He's a Premier League. If I have no doubt, if he was fully fit, he'd be a Premier League player right now. What else was there? Yes, he's and also he added some things about training. Look, if I'm not first choice or playing as often as I want, I wouldn't have a very happy face in training either, which goes back to that video what I made. Even though it was Footy Insider as the source, there was a crumb of truth in it for me. And Farke has basically confirmed that today in terms of how unhappy Bamford is with his role. So I do envision that Bamford is probably looking for an exit. But the reason why none of that concerned me today, with Farke speaking about all his accolades, heard this all before. Sunshine Anderson settings, I heard it all before. I heard it with Luke Ayling. I heard it with Liam Cooper. The proof in the pudding is he going to be on the pitch? The answer is no, people. Rick, here you go. He was trying to up his sale value. That's exactly what it sounded like to me. So that is why, even though shout out to you that message, a few of you that messaged me on Insta, didn't concern me. I've heard this speech before. I've heard about Liam Cooper for about 15 minutes. I've heard about Ayling for about 15 minutes. What happens in the next game? Nowhere to be seen. Or they get charity minutes at the end, much like Bamford did against Sheffield United. No concern. Absolutely no concern for me. And that what today did, it actually makes me even believe that it won't be next summer that he leaves. There's a big possibility he could be going in January. And that just makes me happy, people. I'm sorry. Hey, listen, I will when he leaves. You know me, even when Cooper's left, Ayling's left, I've just talked about it and moved on. I will actually crack open a super malt when he leaves. I will. I absolutely will. Ryan, hey, anything I'm forgetting, Ryan, let me know, because he did say that as well. Internationally recognized striker too. He was giving him all the accolades today. So whereas you would think it would annoy me, no, my thing is, your words mean nothing. Your actions say everything. And if he's as top class and a top striker, like he's been saying, if he could play in the Premier League, as he's been saying, then he'd be playing more right now, people. All right? He'd be playing more. When Joseph's not scoring, even though Joseph's performances has been good, what you said today, you would think Bamford would come in. But no, it's been Joel Peru, who he has previously said isn't a striker, when he is. He has backtracked on that, in all fairness to Farke, so give him credit for that. But he's played Peru next. Bamford is an afterthought right now, people. So no matter how many times the journals, these local journals who've got Bamford on speed dial, keep on bringing it up, the proof is in the pudding for me. And as long as he has the minutes that he's been getting when we're in advantageous positions, i.e. winning against Sheffield United 2-0, fine. 100% KG. Yep, agree. And yeah, Paddy podcast. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Let me not speak. If I speak, I'll be in big trouble, and I don't want to be in big trouble, so I will not speak. Okay. Yeah, James, you said no super malts in the championship, but I guess this would be the exception. Big exception, man. Big exception. It would be worth it. It would just cure a lot of things at this football club, and maybe flush out some of the newer fans as well, who think that this guy is the bee's knees, because it's just not true. But listen, whatever Farke did today, I enjoyed it. Because I can see what he's done today. So no qualms about it. Absolutely. Gavin here, Wrexham. Okay, yeah, listen. Wrexham, in terms of, I don't know where Bamford's going to go. I don't know. And quite frankly, I don't care. You know what I mean? But what I've said to you people, and I've said it many times, and it is true, There is a club for everybody. Okay, who would have thought Liam Cooper would be heading out to Sofia in Bulgaria? Nobody. Nobody would have thought that. But I'm telling you, in professional football, no matter what you think of a player, no matter what I think of a player, there is a club out there for him. And I think at this stage, if Patrick Bamford has made noises to leave, which it sounds like, I do believe that report a bit, even though it is Footy Insider, and I swear I did not write any of that from the ex-Man United chief scout. I didn't. I do think that whether he's willing to take a wage cut or whether Leeds United need to do a little golden handshake and, top up the leave-in severance, I think it's going to happen. Now, whether it happens in January or the summer, I think that this is finally the last season of Patrick Bamford at this great football club. I do. I think it will. Uh, what's it? What are we saying here? Lodi, I don't want us to sell him to another title challenge and championship team. Well, why not make him weaker, Lodi? I don't understand. But listen, that is it with that. So let's go into the game tomorrow. Now, Watford, in terms of their team, people, they have been stripped of all of those better assets. They've been stripped of all of those. It's a very all over the gaff kind of team. Basically, man, it's what happens when you in the championship for too long. You lose all of your good assets. You have to then make them up in terms of championship experience. Look, they've even got Soko in there, who, a few years ago would be an absolute dream, but he's at the tail end of his career. Now, Watford will make it difficult, but listen, I saw them against Luton, and Luton have been nothing great this season. They were awful. Watford were awful. So I'm not even thinking about Watford in terms of this. They got a meaty goalkeeper. I think that we can get at them tomorrow night. I absolutely do. In terms of that, I'm going to look at the team I would put out. It's not going to happen, people. It's not going to happen. But this is what I would do tomorrow in terms of the team. And then we'll go into score predictions after. Melier, you get to keep the shirt, man. You caught everything, even the second attempt catches. The bar's very low for you, but you get to keep your spot. No shots on target. But you know what? You did what you have to do. There you go. So, yeah, same back five for me. Just keep it the way it is. That's another clean sheet under their belts. By the way, the central defensive striker, Roda, I need to say it again. Kiefer Moore, you were a non-factor, and it was all thanks to these two men. Strauch and Rodon together, absolutely colossal in that game. So we'll keep it with that. Obviously, the two that you guys are trying to give a ship name to, which is unbelievable, is Tanaka and Rothwell. They obviously stay in there. Yeah, Luton played with them. I mean, it wasn't even close. Wasn't even close. And if I'm seeing Luton do that, I know what I'm expecting my team to do to them tomorrow night. In terms of that, Tanaka and Rothwell writes itself. This is where I would have a little change for tomorrow, people. And maybe you disagree, but don't get drawn in by the big gap in midfield, because we already know with Joseph himself anyway, he would be coming back to try and link play. But I would love us to go with a two up top tomorrow against Watford. If you're going to do it at any point, it's going to be a home game, and I would love to see this. Nanto, of course, we know will be right, drifting in. Bogle will bomb down the right. We know what Bogle's game is about. Bogle as well, fantastic in the last game. Best game so far. Loved it. Ramazani, he often drifts in as well, and that leaves Firpo to do his thing down the left. The spaces will be covered, whether it's these guys or whether it's Tanaka Rothwell drifting in. Don't worry about the gaps. I believe that we could go with a two up top tomorrow. And the reason why I've taken Aronson out, it's nothing against Aronson, but I don't want to burn him out. The guy has played a lot of football lately, long miles. This is a quick turnaround in games. So I would probably bring him on for like the last 20 minutes. But this is just me, people. This is just me. But I would love to see the two up top in Peru and Joseph. Love to see that. But look, yeah, Jack saying Aronson does need a rest. I think, yeah, because even Aronson was really good. He didn't have his shooting boots on, but everything else in his game against Sheffield United was really good. But you could see there was a little fatigue when towards the end before he came off. That's why I would give him the rest in this one and play the two up front. So, and obviously, of course, Solomon and James are still getting back to full match fitness. So give them another game off, and then see how they fare against Bristol City, or what condition they're in against Bristol City this weekend. But look, this is the team I would go for, and I think this team causes this Watford team, this version of Watford, all kinds of problems. Their centre backs, by the way, Ogbonna, Porteous, who's I mean, Porteous is good for a yellow card on the best days. And if he's not suspended for this game, I didn't check before this preview, so forgive me. He's probably gonna get a yellow card in this game tomorrow because that's his game. He's a very clumsy, he's a definition of a championshipy defender. Let me just be, put it bluntly. So I do think we're gonna get this victory tomorrow. I don't think there's any doubt, and I think we go on a nice little run, and I think it continues tomorrow. So listen, let's have a look. A couple on Aronson here. Gavin here saying if Aronson could improve his composure in front of goal, I hear it. I do hear it in terms of his composure in front of goal, but I think overall he's done very well for us. And his overall game since he's come down to us in the championship has been very, very good. Whether he's providing assists or the pre-assists, which do count for me, I think he's done really well. But I'm just thinking about his physical fitness. But yeah, let's have a look. Yeah, and Jack here, Aronson would be one of my favorites if he wasn't so lightweight. Yeah, I mean, there's different players are different. You're not going to get, like I've said before about Aronson, if you want him to be Yaya Toure, he's not going to be that. But if you see his kind of game and see what he delivers to us, then you'll appreciate what he does, especially for us at this level. So, but yeah, listen, I'm good with Aronson, as I said at the start of the year. Nigel is saying, like your team, KG, but we all know Farke won't do it. Yeah, and listen, hey, I've got no problem with Farke sticking with the same team. I'm just trying to put it out there in terms of just mixing it up for this game, just for the tactical reason of Watford. Watford will be playing 5 at the back. It's not a 5 in midfield, people. Those are their wing backs, Sema and Andrews. Andrews is actually a pretty decent prospect, but they will be playing 5 at the back. So I'm just thinking about a little bit of hope for Joel Peru. But yeah, Farke did say no changes, but that's just my preferred lineup. But listen, people, in terms of the score prediction tomorrow, I think we come out with another clean sheet. I do. I think we're going to win 2-0 again. I think we're going to go for another 2-0 victory. Let's do goal scorers. Let's do goal scorers. I'm going to go Nanto to get one, and I'm going to back Joel Peru to get another one. Let's go 2-0. What are we saying then, people? Well, Gary, lovely. Let's go, Gary. 5-0 Leeds. Gavin's going 4-1. Lee's going 3-0 Leeds. I think I did go miss one earlier. Okay, Hyru's going 2-0 also. Okay, yeah, 2-0 sounds good. And Hyru's going Ramazani in Peru. Love that. James going 3-0. Yeah, 3-0. Anyone for a Watford win or even a draw? Even a draw. Deshaun going 3-0. Jack going 3-0. Ming's going 31 Leeds, but I think he means 3-1. But yeah, I got you. Chris is going 1-1 or 2-2. Ooh. See, Chris gave Farke credit the other day, so he's got to balance it out today. I got you, Chris. I'm joking. Nigel's going 3-0 to Leeds, Peru, Joseph Nanto. Love that. Absolutely love that. Deshaun's going for a Joseph hat-trick if he starts. Love it. Let's go. So yeah, Sean also going 3-1 and Elmi going for 5, Leeds United 5. Yeah. Let's have a look. Michael here just saying, I like Peru off the bench, though. Otherwise, if he starts together with Mateo, we only have Paddy to bring on. But hey, listen, Michael, you don't have to sub anyone off. You could actually leave them on. Or because of the way that we attack, if you have to take one off, Michael, we do have Solomon, who's back. He can play attacking midfield. We've got Dan James back, who's getting, even in that game against Sheffield United, people, Dan James, even though he's not fully fit, that run he made just shows he's still got the speed. Incredible stuff. But yeah, there's other options that we've got there. I mean, even if Gelhardt makes the bench, I don't know. But yeah, listen, there's options to have even. But listen, if we're 2-0 up, maybe Bamford can come on for like the last 2 minutes again. I don't know. Let's go. But listen, people, that is the preview. And listen, if there's anything that you disagree with or any points you want to make, put them in the comments below. Like the video. And listen, I've already got, like I said earlier, I've already got the match reaction video up, so hit a like on that one. Join me tomorrow night and we'll discuss the game against Watford in detail. And listen, people, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of your evening.